Welcome back, football fans, to another instalment of Sensible Bet Builders, the YouTube show from OddAlerts where we look at a set of fixtures. In this episode, we are going to be taking a look at the FA Cup third round fixtures. We'll look at all of the data, some of the games that stand out to me, and then we will use all of that insight to create a sensible bet builder. Now, if you watched the previous episode, you'll know that the Liverpool Sensible Bet Builder won. That was for the Liverpool-Newcastle game. Thank you, Anthony Gordon, for that shot on target. Certainly bumping up the odds. I think we had over 16.5 shots for Liverpool, and I went through, the data and how they're peppering shots in at the minute. They had 34 shots in that game. We could have gone much higher. 34 shots, 7 XG. It's a Premier League record. So there are games on Thursday night and Friday night for the FA Cup. I'm not going to include them, so posting this on Thursday, you've got a couple of days to get on this, to jump on this, to take a look at the data yourself. And we're going to start, where else? Sunderland, Newcastle. It's the first meeting between these rivals since 2016. We can just take a look as well at the head-to-head, and it was a 1-1 draw the last time these teams met, and the goal scorers on that day were Mitrovic and Jermaine Defoe, so I have done my homework on this one. Now, what can we say about these two teams? Newcastle in no kind of form. Just mentioned that defeat at Liverpool. It's now 8 games away from home without a win, no clean sheet during that period as well. And Sunderland come into this unbeaten in 3 games, and they will just be looking to make this uncomfortable for Eddie Howe. This is not the game he wanted. Make no mistake, he would probably, behind closed doors, tell you he doesn't want to play this game. It's not the game Newcastle need at all if they're to get back into some sort of form, but it is a pivotal game for Newcastle's season. They're out of Europe, they're out of the Carabao Cup, thanks to Chelsea recently. And now they travel to Sunderland, arch rivals. Will they rotate? Can they even rotate, given the injuries and how stretched the squad is at the moment? Sunderland do have players that can hurt this Newcastle team. And I don't know about you, but this is the game I'm going to be watching. If we look at the last 25 games, we'll just go overall, shall we? In fact, if we look at the away games, because Newcastle haven't been great, 1.5 goals scored per game, conceded 1.79. At home across the last 25, Sunderland conceded just 1.17. So this could be a nervy game. It could be tight, and I'm sure there will be a few cards. Now this, because of the rivalry, the matchup, this is not included in the treble, but I just wanted to go over it because it's probably the highlight of the day. Come 12:45 on Saturday, my eyeballs will be firmly fixed on this game. So on to the first of the games that does make it onto the treble, and it is Southampton Walsall. If we just take a look at the odds quickly, you can see that not many bookmakers are giving Walsall a chance, and to be honest, I wouldn't either. Southampton are in fantastic form, unbeaten in a very long time, unbeaten since the middle of September, and there's a lot of games that get played in the Championship, so that is very, very good going. Russell Martin had a bit of a shaky start, 4 defeats on the bounce, as you can see there, to Sunderland, Leicester, Ipswich and Middlesbrough. So teams that you would expect to be certainly pushing for playoffs. Leicester look like they're going to win the Championship quite easily. But for Walsall, and this is why they make it on, if we look at their form, they're in good form, and away from home, they come into this having scored 6 at Grimsby Town. They are a good goal-scoring team. And keep that in mind, because at the end of the video, when we put the bet builder together, you'll see why I've made the selection that I have. Hello there, just a quick update here from OddAlerts.com. This is something that was pushed this week, actually on New Year's Day. You can now download all of 2023 for the probability model, including the results, opening odds, closing odds, peak odds, and this will allow you to firstly just download the data as a CSV, put it into Excel, and then start to formulate some systems for yourself for your value betting journey. You can see where the profit was, if it moved up or down throughout the year, which leagues or competitions were most profitable. And as I say, you can start to build your value betting strategy quite quickly. You can also directly access it using the OddAlerts API as well. So yeah, that is some new updates to the data downloads page. You can also download the upcoming player stats, upcoming referees. You've got corner probability model output in there as well. So thanks for listening to this quick plug. Now back to the video. Another game that caught my eye was Swansea City hosting Morecambe. And again, the FA Cup to me, there's a lot of away teams in this round, it seems, that have just got nothing to lose, but they're actually not that bad in terms of goal scoring. We saw one in the previous fixture. Now this one, Morecambe's games contain goals. They certainly do. Away from home, it's true as well. If you look at their scorelines, 5-0, 2-2, 5-0, 2-0, 6-0, 2-1, 3-2, 2-1. You get the picture. And for Swansea, they've scored in each of the last 5 home games. BTTS is quite common. They are no stranger to conceding a goal at home, so keep that in mind when we put together the sensible bet builder at the end of this video. On to Sunday's games then, 7th of January, Man City Huddersfield. You can see that one going exactly one way. Peterborough Leeds should be a good game. Leeds in good form. Peterborough trying to get out of League One again. The game that we're going to focus on, we've got Arsenal-Liverpool there as well. I know that's a tricky one to call, though, with rotation and no Salah for Liverpool. So I'm not going to focus on that game. It is the biggest game, of course. I do have a bonus game, which I will get to after the bet builder. There's a bonus game where I think there could be value, and I'll explain why. But for now, let's check out Shrewsbury-Wrexham. So for Wrexham, it is a chance for them to knock out a team from the league above. They'll fancy their chances. Incidentally, they awarded Paul Mullin, super striker Paul Mullin, with a new contract on New Year's Day. Good time to announce something like that, isn't it? For Shrewsbury, they had lost 4 on the bounce before they hosted Fleetwood, and I think that was the Fleetwood manager's final game. Charlie Adam is now the manager there after a terrible run of form for Fleetwood. They were 23rd, as you can see, when Shrewsbury beat them 3-1. Now, if we look at the away form quickly, I just want to show you the difference. The away form is dreadful for Shrewsbury, but if you look at the home form, it is a different story. The only recent defeats coming against the top 3 in League One: Bolton, Portsmouth and Peterborough. So at home, they are quite a good side. That said, they do concede. Look how many goals they've conceded. They've conceded in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 home games. And we know Wrexham, I mean, I know if you're a football fan and you check the scores frequently, you will know that Wrexham can score goals. And for this one, it is a little bit closer, despite Shrewsbury being in League One. Wrexham are the favourites for this game. So that, again, bear that in mind when we come to the sensible bet builder. And we will jump to Bet365 now and put it together. Okay then, so here we are on Bet365, and I would encourage you to shop around because you will get better odds. I already found better odds on Betfair, I think it was, for this particular treble, but just using this as a reference and an example just to show you how I'm building it. We've got Southampton, Walsall, BTTS, given Walsall's good scoring form, Southampton formidable, don't get me wrong, in fantastic form, but I feel that the FA Cup can throw out these kind of games. Walsall have absolutely nothing to lose. They're a good football inside. Away from home, in the last 25 games, they've averaged 1.85 goals scored per game as well. Next up is Shrewsbury-Wrexham, and we're also going to go with BTTS for this one, so now we've got a double at 3s. And finally, Swansea-Morecambe, BTTS, and over 2.5 goals. Now, you can just go BTTS if you want to have a little less risk. It is 1.75. Morecambe concede quite a lot of goals as well, but again, I'm putting Morecambe in the category of teams where they're going to turn up and they're not going to be playing with fear. They'll respect Swansea, of course, but they'll have seen Swansea's home record in terms of conceding goals and just feel like there's not much to lose. And hopefully that can result in some very fun games for us this weekend. So just to confirm this slip then, BTTS yes for those 2 games there, Southampton and Walsall, Shrewsbury and Wrexham, and then over 2.5 goals and yes for Swansea and Morecambe. Now, as I say, you could just lower that down a little bit. You could just take away some of the risk. Might be a 1-1 game, Swansea-Morecambe, you never know. Now, I mentioned there was a bonus game as well, and I will just take you to that now. Now, the bonus game is Luton hosting Bolton. Bolton, managed by Ian Evatt, former Blackpool defender, doing very, very good work indeed. And you can see here they come into this 3 clean sheets on the bounce, and they don't lose many games, as you can see. Luton, we know that Luton are, they're capable, that they should have better players than League One Bolton in this game, but I just think the psychology of the game, Luton have been playing in the Premier League at 110% every game. Every game is a final for Luton. They put on this like heroic display every single week, and they're in these games, they're close, they're giving so much. And I think Bolton coming to Kenilworth Road will also have that kind of mentality and approach, and I just think it could knock Luton off a little bit for the first 15-20 minutes. It might take the players, depending on how many changes they make as well, by the way, for Luton, I think it could take them 15-20 minutes to get into the game, and Bolton are a really, really good side. So my bonus for this video is probably going to be maybe a double chance or a draw no bet for Bolton, because of course in the FA Cup you've got teams that would be more than willing to take a draw to bring these Premier League teams back to their home stadiums. And you can see Bolton or draw 2.35 across quite a few bookmakers. So that was my bonus prediction or bet or analysis, if you will. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I will leave you with some trends here. I'll just scroll down so you can see. Feel free to pause or, you know, go on slow speed or whatever. This is for the next 5 days as I post this on Thursday, so all these will be across the weekend. You've got the top teams here for over 2.5 goals. You can see this at any time on oddalerts.com/trends. If you have enjoyed this video, if you've got anything out of this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the like button, subscribe, because it really does make the difference. And also just comment anything. Could be anything, I don't care. Comment what your favourite type of pizza is.